Danielle was 10 years old, sitting right here at my kitchen table, and she looked up at me and said, "Mama, when I grow up, I'm going to buy you a house with a big porch, and I'm going to live right next door." She meant it. I could see it in her face. That was 20-some years ago. Danielle is 44 now, lives in Charlotte. I haven't heard her voice in 8 months. I want to tell you what happened to the woman who did everything in the family that went quiet. My name is Dorothy Coleman. People call me Dot. I'm 68 years old and I live in Belleville, Illinois, in a 3-bedroom house I bought in 1997. I bought it with money I earned working 2 jobs. I raised 3 children in this house by myself. And most nights, the only breathing thing in here besides me is a 9-pound terrier named Biscuit. I'm sitting at my kitchen table right now. Oak table, heavy. I found it at a secondhand store and I refinished it myself, sanded it down, stained it, sealed it. It seats 6, got 6 chairs around it. 5 of them are empty. Been empty. I don't push them in. I know that probably seems strange. I don't push them in. One place setting tonight. Fork, knife, plate, glass of sweet tea, baked chicken, greens, cornbread. Enough food for maybe 3-4 people, but I'll get to that. My phone is right here, right next to my plate, face up. I don't look at it while I eat, but I know it's there. Lord, do I know it's there. It's like a little glass window to 3 people who don't climb through it anymore. Down the hall, there's 2 closed doors. Marcus's old room, Danielle's old room. Terrence slept in the back, but he shared with Marcus for a while when they were small. I haven't changed much in those rooms. Danielle's still got her track ribbons on the wall. Marcus has got that poster of, I think it was Allen Iverson. I don't go in there often. But I don't lock the doors either. The living room's got pictures everywhere. School photos, graduation, church portraits from when they were little, all 3 of them in matching outfits looking like they didn't want to be there. I tell you what, this house is full of people. Just none of them are here in person. And the sound, that's what gets you. This house used to be loud, pots banging, kids arguing, somebody always needing something. Now it's just me and Biscuit and the refrigerator humming. I leave the TV on in the other room most nights. I don't watch it. I just need something that sounds like a voice. Their father left on a Tuesday. I remember because Tuesdays I worked the early shift at the care facility and I got home around 4, walked in, went to hang up my jacket, and his side of the closet was empty. Hangers just swinging there. Marcus was 9, Danielle was 6, Terrence was 2. I sat on the edge of that bed for about 10 minutes. Then I got up and started dinner because the kids would be home and they'd be hungry. Children don't care that your whole life just changed. I'm not going to talk much about him. He doesn't earn that. I'll just say this. He left and I stayed. That's the whole story of him. What came after was the work. And Lord, there was work. Days I was a CNA at a long-term care facility over in Fairview Heights. 22 years I did that. I bathed people. I fed people. I held their hands when they were scared or confused or dying. I wiped their faces and changed their beds and talked to them soft when nobody else came to visit. I took care of other people's parents all day. Then I drove across town and stocked shelves at the grocery store from 10 at night till 3 in the morning. I did that for 11 years. 11 years of both at the same time. I slept from about 3:30 to 6. Every day. You can do the math on that. I did it so long my body forgot what 8 hours felt like. I was 31 when he left. I didn't date again. Not because I'm some kind of saint. Because there was no time. There was no room. Every hour I wasn't working, I was with those kids. And every hour I was working, I was thinking about those kids. My social life was church on Sunday morning and the break room at the care facility. That was it. That was my whole life outside of Marcus and Danielle and Terrence. But I tell you what, that house was alive. Saturday mornings. Lord. Marcus at the stove trying to make pancakes, burning every other one. Danielle setting the table like she was running a restaurant. Terrence just underfoot. Always underfoot. That boy was in everybody's way and nobody cared because the kitchen was loud and warm and full and the syrup was going around and somebody was always reaching over somebody else and I was standing at the counter with a coffee I never got to finish and I was tired. I was always tired. But it was the good kind of tired. You know what I mean? The kind where the tiredness has a purpose. It's got a reason. I remember one night, Danielle was about 10, sitting right here at this table doing her homework. She looked up at me and said, "Mama, when I grow up, I'm going to buy you a house with a big porch and I'm going to live right next door." I laughed. I said, "Girl, you better focus on your long division." She said, "I mean it, Mama." She meant it. She was 10. She meant it. And Marcus, I told that boy, "You the man of the house now." He was 9. 9 years old, and I put that on him because I didn't know what else to do. He took it serious. He walked Danielle and Terrence to school. He checked the locks at night. He'd stand at the front door waiting for me when I got home from the late shift, 3 in the morning. This little boy in his pajamas, making sure his mama got in safe. He grew up too fast. I know that now. I needed him to. And I know that doesn't make it right. I believed it would pay off. Not in money, in presence. I believed that when I was old and tired and my knees gave out and I couldn't work no more, they'd be there. Not because they owed me, because that's how it works. You raise 'em, you love 'em, you break your body for 'em, and they stay close. That was the deal. Nobody told me the deal could change. Here's the thing, they did good, all 3 of them. They did real good. Marcus got a job in logistics, worked his way up, moved to Atlanta for a promotion. I told everybody at Greater Hope Baptist, "My son's in Atlanta, big job, management." Danielle got her degree, went into pharmaceutical sales, moved to Charlotte. Terrence went to Chicago for something in computers. IT, they call it. I was proud. I was so proud I could have burst, and for a while, it was fine. Marcus called every week, Danielle called every Sunday. Terrence was never much of a caller, but he'd check in. It was fine. They were busy. I understood busy. Lord knows I understood busy. But then the calls got shorter, and then they got further apart. Marcus went from every week to every other week. Danielle went from every Sunday to twice a month, then once a month, then holidays. I started noticing that I was the one calling every time. I'd pick up the phone and dial, and they'd answer, and we'd talk for a few minutes, and then they'd have to go. Always had to go. Somebody had something, a meeting, a dinner. The kids had practice. It's always something. And there wasn't a fight. That's the part I can't. There wasn't a moment. There was no door slamming, no word said that can't be taken back. It just got quiet. Like the volume on a radio turning down so slow you don't notice till the music's gone. I stopped calling. I need to be honest about that. Maybe 2-3 years ago, I stopped being the one to reach out. And I'm not going to tell you it was because I was being strong or because I was giving them space. I stopped because I was tired of being the only one dialing. I wanted to know, if I stopped, would they notice? They didn't. Or maybe they did and it just wasn't enough to make them pick up the phone. Now I've thought about this a lot. Sitting here at this table with nothing but time, you think about things. Marcus, I put a grown man's weight on a 9-year-old boy. I told him he was the man of the house and he carried that. He carried it all the way through school, all the way through his 20s. He's 47 now, and I wonder sometimes if him being far away is just him finally putting that weight down. I don't know if that's true. I go back and forth on it. But it sits with me. And me, I never asked for anything. Not once. Not from anybody. I didn't ask for help when the water heater broke and I was boiling pots on the stove for baths. I didn't ask for help when my knee got so bad I could barely make it up the porch steps. I didn't ask my children to call. I didn't tell them I was lonely. I didn't say, I need you, because Dorothy Mae Coleman does not say, I need you. I never have. I thought the work was enough. I thought if I gave them everything they'd know. But I think maybe I taught them I didn't need anything. I was so busy being strong that they believed me. They think Mama's fine. She's always fine. She's always handled it. They don't know I eat dinner alone at a table for 6. They don't know because I will never tell them. I still cook for 4. I can't help it. I make a whole pot of greens, a full pan of cornbread, chicken for a family. Then I stand in the kitchen putting it in Tupperware containers. Some of it goes to Cynthia next door. The rest goes in the freezer, stacked up in there till I throw it out a month later to make room for more. I've tried cooking smaller. I've tried the little portions, the single chicken breast, the cup of rice, but it feels wrong. It feels like I'm admitting something I'm not ready to admit. Terrence sends me a gift card for my birthday every year. Visa. $50. Comes in the mail. No card, no note, no call. Just a little plastic card in an envelope with my name on it. I don't use them. I keep them in the kitchen drawer, right over there stacked together. I think there's 6 of them in there now. $300 I'll never spend. Because what am I going to do? Go to the store and use the only thing my youngest child sends me to buy dish soap? I can't do that. I know it's foolish. I don't care. Last Wednesday, the phone rang and my heart did that thing it does, that little jump. I reached for it so fast I almost knocked over my tea. It was the pharmacy, automated voice. Your prescription is ready for pickup. Press 1 to confirm. I pressed 1. I set the phone down. I sat there for a minute. Biscuit looked up at me from the floor like he knew. That dog knows more than people give him credit for. My neighbor Cynthia, she's been next door 19 years. She's a widow, good woman, sharp tongue. She loves me enough to say the things I don't want to hear. We were sitting on the porch one evening, couple months back, and she looked at me and said, You gotta stop waiting on that phone, Dot. You're gonna wait yourself into the grave. I didn't say anything for a while. Then I said, I'm not waiting. She didn't believe me. I didn't believe me either. Last Thanksgiving, I cooked. The full spread, turkey, dressing, greens, macaroni and cheese, sweet potato pie. I set the table. All 6 places, put on my good dress, the navy blue one. Marcus said he might call. Danielle didn't say anything at all. I waited. I sat in the living room in my good dress and I waited. Marcus didn't call. Danielle didn't call. At 9 o'clock at night, Terrence sent a text. Happy Thanksgiving, Mama. No period, no nothing. Probably sent it during a commercial break. I ate by myself. I put the food in containers. I washed every dish. I was in bed by 7:30. People at church say things. They mean well. Have you tried reaching out? Maybe you should call them. Give it to God, Sister Coleman. I smile. I nod. I don't tell them I've given it to God so many times he's probably got a whole file cabinet with my name on it. I don't tell them that giving it to God doesn't stop me from checking the phone at 6 in the morning. It doesn't stop the quiet. I did what I had to do. I worked 2 jobs. I raised 3 children. I kept this house. I didn't ask anybody for anything. I did what I had to do. I just didn't know that doing what I had to do meant I'd end up sitting here by myself. Marcus, Danielle, Terrence, I don't know if y'all think about me. I hope you do. But I don't know. I'm not angry. I was for a while. I'd sit here at this table and I'd be so mad I could feel it in my teeth. But that was a long time ago. I'm past angry. I'm just tired. The kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. The kind that's been building for 40 years and just sits on you. I want you to know something. I didn't work 2 jobs because I wanted to. I did it because y'all needed shoes. Y'all needed food. Y'all needed this house. Every night I came home at 3 in the morning, I walked down that hallway and I checked on each one of you. Every single night. Marcus in his bed with his arm hanging off the side. Danielle curled up with that stuffed rabbit she wouldn't let go of till she was 12. Terrence sprawled out sideways, covers kicked off. I'd fix his blanket. Every night. Even when I could barely stand up. I'm not asking you to feel guilty. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking you to feel sorry for me. I don't want your pity. I have never in my life wanted anyone's pity. I'm asking you to remember. Remember this table. Remember Saturday mornings. Remember the noise. Remember that I was there. I was always there, even when I was tired, even when I didn't know how I was going to make it to Friday. I was there. Danielle, you told me you were going to live right next door. You were 10. You were sitting right here. You meant it. I'm not asking you to come home forever. I'm just asking you to come home for dinner. One dinner. Sit at this table with me one more time. That's all I ever wanted. Just y'all at this table. I pray for y'all every night. Every single night. I get down on my knees, and Lord knows that's not easy with this knee. And I tell God to keep you safe, to keep your heart soft. And I just ask him to remind you. Just remind you that your mama is still here. The porch light is still on. It's always on. It's evening now. The plates washed and drying in the rack. Biscuits on the floor by my feet, already half asleep. The house is quiet. It's always quiet. I get up, slow, because the knee doesn't do fast anymore, and I walk to the front door. I turn on the porch light. I do this every night. I've done this every night for years. I don't know why. I don't have to know why. The light is on. If you're sitting in a quiet house tonight and you know this feeling, the feeling of loving people who don't come around no more, I see you. You're not the only one. And it doesn't mean you did it wrong. Sometimes you do everything right and it still goes quiet. And if your mama's number is in your phone right now and you haven't called her in a while, she's not going to ask you why you haven't called. She's not going to make you feel bad. She's just going to be glad to hear your voice. I promise you that. If this story sounds like yours, share it with someone who understands. There are more of us than you think.